Look at how big this guy is. Holy shit. Bitch! Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something that I've been promising now for quite some time, and that is changing this ugly orange marker to something more aesthetically pleasing. And in that case, we are only talking about blacked out LED side markers for your car. These markers come with the resistors, so you don't have to worry about any warnings inside the car. Because a problem when you change from regular bulbs to LED bulbs is that they consume a lot less power. So in vehicles that have signal sensing to detect that the bulb is out, it drops the current just a little bit to make sure that the bulb is still working. And in this situation, if you put an LED bulb here without using a resistor, it's actually going to trip out the computer, and the computer is going to constantly tell you that your front side marker is out and that you need to replace it. Now today I'm also going to rerun the Mercedes light up star, and we're going to wire it directly to our side marker here, so whenever the vehicle is on, that star is going to be on. It's no longer going to be controlled by my fog lights. I did enjoy doing that while I had it. I did thoroughly enjoy showing up and randomly flicking that switch on and off, and it was fun. But now that everybody knows that I can do it, it's kind of like lost its value there. So what I'm gonna do is just permanently leave it on, and it's not a big deal. Today we're gonna be doing it a little bit differently. If you guys don't know how to solder, what the hell was that? If you guys don't know how to solder, feel free to use a butt connector. You guys can use the butt connectors, just make sure that it's one that has shrink wrap to it so you don't get any water in the line. I know the previous video with the fog lights, I showed you guys how to use it doing the T-taps. You can do that, but it's time that we start stepping up our game a bit, and as this channel grows, I'm going to try and show you guys more and more advanced techniques. That way you guys can improve your install on your own projects. So the very first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to remove this marker the way that they would do it at Mercedes. And that's completely different than the ways that you guys may have seen through other online communities. They tell you just to turn the wheel all the way and stick your hand in there and pull it out that way. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way. But unfortunately, you need as much space as you can for this, especially to access those wires and to solder them and to shrink wrap them, or to cut it and use the butt connection. So you're going to want as much space as you possibly can. To do that, what we're going to do is remove the front tire. We're going to jack up the vehicle and then remove the front fender well liner. It's not difficult. It sounds difficult, but it's not difficult. So the very first thing that you want to do is loosen up the wheels before you jack up the vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and use this 17mm adapter. Put it on and just give the wheels a little loosen. So the next thing we want to do is slide the jack stand right to the jack point, which is located right about here. Where that mark is on your door, it's about 1.5 inches away. It's a little square plate. That's where you want to jack the vehicle up from. Now that the vehicle is jacked up and the tire is able to freely spin, you can go ahead and finish removing the final nuts. Guys, this is really important. Make it a habit whenever you guys take the tires off your vehicles to inspect everything underneath and make sure it's all in working condition. Slide your thumb with gloves on over the brake rotors and examine them for any waves. Check the brake pad thickness on both sides, the outside and the inside. Also examine all your brake lines, examine all your ABS lines, and make sure that there are no cracks in anything. This also gives you the opportunity to check out your shocks and then check out your springs and make sure that there's no cracks in those as well. Also, don't be afraid to take a look over at your control arms and verify that everything's in good working condition. There should be no seals, there should be no leaks within this area of the car. Now that we've examined everything and verified that the vehicle is in good working condition, we're going to remove this inner fender well off the vehicle. And like I said, it's not that hard. All it is just a few screws and boom, you have full access to the area underneath. The very first bolt that we're going to want to remove is located in the front underneath of the car, and it's an 8mm. So what you're going to want to do is go underneath your car, and don't freak out when you see this. You're going to see some road damage, especially if you live in an area that has dirt roads, or if you live in an area full of potholes. And then you're going to notice someone's been doing work on my car. And then you're going to notice right over here that there is a bolt, and there is this. Who the hell did this on my car? Well, we'll get that out of there. But what you're going to want to do is take this 8mm out. It's this one right here. Just use this little guy, put it on there, and then loosen it out, and he'll come right out. Now while you're underneath the vehicle, you're also going to locate this little push pin, and you're going to take him off a flathead, and then that's going to loosen the front end. So the only thing you'll have to do is take off the grommets underneath the fender well, and then all of this will come off. The front part of it detached, you're going to want to locate the push pins. There's going to be 1, 2, 3. There's 3 push pins here, and then there's 1, 2, 3 10mm that have to be taken out. So let's go ahead and get those out. Now if you guys have never removed these push pins before, they're a little bit tricky, so let me show you how to do it. The trick to getting these push pins out, it's relatively simple. All you're going to want to do is insert a flathead underneath, twist and pull up on it until you get the little pin out. And once the pin is out, the rest will just pull right out behind it. Because what it does is it takes the pin and allows this to expand, which prevents you from pulling it out of the fender well. Now with all 3 push pins removed, we can go ahead and remove the 1, 2, 3 10mm and pull this whole fender well off the vehicle. So there you go, guys. That's the car without the fender well on there. So if you guys are interested in removing the headlights from the vehicle, it is very important that you guys do that step, because you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to take these bolts out to remove the headlights from the vehicle. Now, as you guys can see, we have full access to our fog lights, and we have full access to our side marker. And the side marker is being held on right by a little torque spit, and here are these 2 little wires that are powering it up. So the very next thing we're going to want to do is remove our old connection over here and move it to our new connection over here. We went ahead and disconnected what we were tapped into originally, which was a fog light, and now we have our cable here with our red and black for the light up Mercedes star. Here are the colors that we're looking at on the side marker. We have brown and this silver color with white line. The silver color with the white line is going to be your positive, so your red, and then your brown is going to be your ground. Those of you guys that have different colors may want to purchase a continuity tester like this, and these, all you got to do is turn on the vehicle and then just tap into the metal marks on the side, and then this will light up indicating which side is positive, because that's what it's doing. You already have a ground, so it's completing it to make the light bulb light up. But in my case, I know for a fact that the positive is going to be that silver and the ground is going to be that brown. So what we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of these new cables that we're putting in, and instead of cutting these, I'm going to cut these and solder the connections onto these over here. As you can see, I went ahead and cut the cables off on the new part that we're going to be installing on the vehicle. And what we're going to want to do is put our black with black and our red with red, and then just go like this and then tie them together. Same thing over with our red with red. Just going to go ahead and just tie them together. Now the next thing you want to do is grab your second part that you're going to be putting to it, but make sure before you do this that you guys add a sort of heat shrink to it. That way it protects the wire from corrosion. Makes it last a lot longer, even though you guys could probably buy another one of these things relatively cheap. You don't want to go through the hassle of having to do it again. Go ahead and just slide that over it just like that. Same thing with our red. Slide it over it. Then you're going to go ahead and put the black to black. What you guys can do is actually just wrap it over around like that. And then solder on that connection before you guys go on to your next connection. Got my soldering gun right here. Got a nice windy day, so I don't have to worry about any circulation. There we go. There's our first connection. It's on there nice and tight. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is do the same thing with our red side. So go over to your red side and repeat the process. Like I said, if you guys don't know how to solder, don't freak out. It's just anytime you guys get a chance like this where you guys can learn something new, might as well try it. You shouldn't be afraid to try new things in life. See? And then you make mistakes like I just almost did. You can slide the heat shrink over it. Heat shrink over both ends. Just like that. And take a lighter. And just pass it over once so it gets nice and tight. There we go. Those connections are done. That wasn't that bad, and they're nice and tight. You can go ahead and pull. Those are on. Turn off the soldering gun. Now we can start getting this thing mounted to our physical location on our vehicle. Next thing that you're going to want to do is remove the actual marker off the vehicle. To do that, you're going to reach in here, twist it towards the front of the car, and then it'll loosen just like that. Now it's being held on by one T20 Torx right here, so we're going to go ahead and loosen it, and then the orange marker will actually pop off. There we go. T20's off. Now if you look in here, there's one clip right there. Just going to squeeze it. While you're squeezing it, you're going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a pull. and it only comes out one way. Now keep in mind, this is a two-part component. This is part one, this is part two. You're gonna need this no matter what. So leave this back in there the way you found it, and then take your new part. This right here is the connection for the Mercedes light up star. You're gonna pass it through, and you're gonna lift up, pull all the cord through. Pull the cord through, you'll be able to get this to hook on. Now while it's hooked on, make sure you take your T20 and you put it back where it needs to go. There you go, guys. Now you can peel this off. You have a beautiful blacked out DOT SAE light up reflector. So obviously you're probably wondering now, what do you do with these connections here? Here, what you're going to want to do is take the bulb off the original factory connection. And then what you're going to do is you're going to plug it in so that the red is facing downward, just like that. It's going to push right in. There you go, that's in. And then you're going to put your resistor, which just plugs right in. There you go. And then this you're going to feed all the way to your light up Mercedes star. Those of you that do not have the light up star, you guys can bypass this step. Now that you have everything plugged in, and before you guys tie all this up and secure it, you want to make sure everything is working. Check those things out. Those are freaking badass. Oh my god, do those things look nice on the car. They make a world of difference. And that light up star is instant on, always on. Beautiful. Now we're going to go ahead and finish that side up and then show you how to do the same thing over here, but a lot quicker and without removing the tire. Use yellow electrical tape, that way you could clearly see where was it that I taped all the connections to. This excess star cable is right underneath the headlight housing. The resistor is sitting up there. Make sure you do not cover that resistor because it is going to get hot from the lights running. And then I did put a little bit of tape over here just at the connection, just to make sure that everything is all nice and fine, even though you probably don't even have to do that. I just did it as a precaution. Now I did use this yellow tape once again just for you guys to see how did I tape everything in. And now that everything is in and everything is all nice and organized, we can put our fender well back in, put our tire back on, and lower the vehicle. To do the driver's side of the Mercedes, what you're going to want to do is first turn the wheel all the way to the right. This will give you enough space to reach behind and get to that T20. Now that you guys already did that, the next thing you want to do is take these little pop pins and remove them off the vehicle. Don't forget about this one all the way up here. I know it's way up there. Some of these just come off easy. Some of them are a pain in the rear. So there you go. Now that you have all of this, you can pull this back and actually gain access to what you guys want to change out. Got the green wire, the brown wire right there. So you're going to go ahead, twist it off, and then pull all this off using the T20. So for this, I'm going to take the T20 bit and a 1/4 inch crescent, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it in position and then loosen it up that way, because I don't have enough space in here to use all my tools to gain access to this. There you go. And then it's just like the other side. You're going to press down on this little lever. Same time as you're pressing down, you're going to pull out. And there you go. The whole piece comes right off. So we're going to go ahead now and insert our new corner piece. So now you're gonna just connect, same situation, you're gonna unplug it, and you see where the green wire is on the downward position? That's where you're gonna wanna put that red wire side, so it's gonna go just like this, so that this is on the downward position. If you guys don't put it in right, it's not gonna light up. So all you gotta do is get inside the car and flip it around. Freak out if you guys get this message. If you guys get this message, it's because you plugged it in incorrectly. What you're going to want to do is turn the switch to the off position, take the keys out, and close the door for 1 minute, and then go back underneath, recheck your connections, let the computer reset, and then turn the car back on. There you go. And the next thing you're going to want to do is take your resistor and then just clip it in. That's simple. So of course we're just going to tie everything to the same headlight assembly up here, and then we're good to go. We're done. Alright guys, this is the finished install at night, and check out those side markers. Holy shit, did they make a difference on the car. If this is something you guys are interested in doing, it's really easy. It takes little to no time to do, especially if you guys don't want to take the fender well out. If you guys can do it without doing that step, just by turning the wheel and inserting your hand, that takes no time. It's something that you guys can definitely do on your own, and with a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, you guys can do this. And if this is something that you guys enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you as part of the community. And in the meantime, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Peace out. Today we're going to be catching the elusive land crab.